Hey, grab a pen and paper real quick because I'd like to show you a revolutionary five-step quantum leap method that's working really well to achieve almost any entrepreneurial result, even in these crazy times, without failure. And I want to show this to you because I believe you can thrive brilliantly, even in these crazy times that we find ourselves in. So I'll wait a little so you can go grab a pen. Cool. Imagine this scenario. What if? What if you suddenly found yourself, post coronavirus and all these lockdowns and all? What if you found yourself better than you have ever been? Both as a person and in your business or career. Now, look, if you already have a business, what if you found a way to grow and thrive that business, your business, more than ever before in these times? And what if you suddenly found yourself in great demand, regardless of your price, regardless of what the economy is doing right now? And if you don't already have a business as yet, what if you suddenly found yourself owning a nice business, a really nice business that's built on the awesome value that is already naturally, internally yours, value that other people are willing to pay for? What if you just suddenly found yourself owning a business, your own business that you enjoy running, that enables you to serve and to grow, to profit, and to be independent and free of the fear of job insecurity, and to be free of the fixed income glass ceiling. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether we love what we do or not, sometimes we feel like there's a glass ceiling that's preventing us from going above a certain income level. What if you had the vehicle to break through that glass ceiling? Now, what if you also learned how to banish any obstacles? And I'm talking about internal obstacles and external obstacles. You know? What if you grew into a master? And mastery is a heavy word to use because we never really reach there. But what if your mastery increased, in terms of your mastery of your mental realm, your emotional realm, and your physical realms? The world around you, what if you start gaining mastery of it, and the world inside you gaining ever increasing mastery of it, so that even during these crazy times you actually became better, stronger, fitter, wiser, more abundant, a master? Now, does that sound like a stretch? Because I know it does sound like a stretch when you first hear it. Like, for a lot of people, this sounds like a crazy empty promise. And I'll tell you the truth, I used to think so too. I thought so too. I thought, that's just crazy, man. What you just said, Dave, right there is crazy. And I used to think so until it happened to me. Now, for those of you who don't know me, in the past several years, I've gone from being broke and stuck in Kenya, whereby I would feel inadequate and incapable of achieving my dreams. And I felt a lot of shame, a lot of fear, a lot of panic and anxiety, around money, and mostly around the feeling of being stuck, just stuck, you know. And I moved from there and moved to having managed to help tens of thousands of people achieve their dreams and help them feel better. You know, there's one thing about achieving a material dream, and that's all well and good, but then there's a whole other ball game when it comes to feeling good inside your skin. So I've helped thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of people, both materially and immaterially. And I've also used the exact same five-step method that I'm about to show you to travel the world and to achieve many other goals and dreams. And these are just a few of the photos. Like, I got thousands and thousands of photos. I've been to pretty much every continent. I've been to the Arctic Circle. I've been to, the Amazon, South America, North America. Well, not the Amazon jungle inside, but I'm like in Colombia, the Andes Mountains, I should say. South America and so on. I've lived in Asia. I've lived in Australasia, just everywhere, man. Like Africa, obviously, Europe, obviously, and this is with the five-step method that I'm about to show you, and it's been wonderful. I really, really am excited to share this with you. Now, like I said, the thing that got me all those results, being able to help others in such a significant way, I feel it's significant. And they tell me that it's significant, so it's just not my ego telling me that. They actually do tell me, the people that I help. And I've seen the results because I've been doing this for almost 20 years on and off. And the thing that got me there to be able to help others and to help myself is what I call the five-step quantum leap methodology. It's a leap. So by quantum leap, I mean, we're not just talking about making small, progressive, little baby step increments, although we could do that if we want. We're talking about jumping. It's a leap from like one world to another. That's why it's a leap, quantum leap. And this method is perfect for entrepreneurship as well as for personal application. Now, let me show you how it works. Look, everybody knows that the mind and emotions are extremely powerful tools, right? Am I wrong in saying that? I mean, our mind, our emotions, they're very powerful. Sometimes they run us. And that means that we need to develop the skills to use them right, okay? In the right way for them to serve us. Because if we don't, they use us, and they use us quite often in the wrong way, completely wrong. And it's a whole mess. And this is it's something that a lot of people don't realize. They think they're in control, but they are not. They're being pushed around by invisible buttons, what we call the subconscious. And it's very important for us to learn how to use those two tools, because they're the ones that dictate what we end up being, doing, having, and even seeing and experiencing. And in order to use them right and to avoid them using you all wrong, and that's what you want to do. You want to be able to use them right, because that's the only way you can achieve your personal and entrepreneurial growth and goals. In almost any circumstance. Once you have mastery, circumstances don't mean anything. Like Bruce Lee said, to hell with circumstances, I create opportunities. So to be able to use these two super forces properly, you need to follow a proven method. In fact, if you're trying things now and you're not getting the results that you want, you're in a state of wanting rather than actually achieving, it probably has nothing to do with how hard you're actually trying. The effort, you could get an A for effort and not really get the results that you're after. You know what I mean? How many times have you seen somebody struggle with something but not get the results? You can give them an A for effort, but the results are hard to come by. Why is that? Okay. And also, if you're trying but not seeing results in a certain area of your life, because a lot of us, we do see results in a lot of areas of our life, but there's certain areas that give us particular problematic challenges. Again, if you're not seeing the results you think you should be having, again, it's got nothing to do with how much you want things to work out. Or, right now, we're blaming everything on coronavirus. I'm sorry to say that coronavirus can come and go, and a lot of us may still stay in the same place we've been before and after the virus. And even if the economy seems to be going down, again, that really doesn't have that much of an effect on the results that we have in our lives. Coronavirus, the economy, yes, they do have an influence. We cannot say that they are completely irrelevant, but they're not the main core driver of the results that we achieve, which means that if we address the main core driver of our results, we should be able to do well with or without coronavirus, or with or without the economy. And again, a lot of us, we end up like blaming, where we come from, what our race is, what our religion is, what creed or label we belong to. Again, it doesn't really have that much to do with the results that we experience. Because at the end of the day, it's not how much effort, desire, or loyalty that we put into things that makes most of the difference in what we experience. The thing that makes the vast majority of our life experience is what our mind and what our emotions unconsciously make us to be, to do, to have, to see. That's what counts the most towards what we end up experiencing and what we end up becoming. In other words, what you become and what you experience can better be called what you call you and what you call your world. So the thing you experience as you, as myself, and the thing that you experience as, your world or my world, my life, is predominantly determined by your mind and your emotions, especially unconsciously. Okay, would you agree to that? And the good news is that there's a personal and entrepreneurial mastery formula for making those two powerful forces serve you well. And that's the good news. And here it is. Here it is. It's a very simple, maybe not easy to do, but simple to understand formula that only has 5 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. Okay? Step 1, set a clear vision. Step 2, make a plan and do it. Step 3, add a force multiplier. Step 4, eliminate obstacles. Step 5, test, track, and tweak. Now, I know that may sound old and familiar. You may even have heard of this before in different ways, but bear with me and you'll see where the elusive mastery is hidden in plain sight. Now, let's get into this, okay? We're picking up gear. So, step 1 is about setting a very clear vision. Listen, your mind, my mind, all our minds are bombarded with distractions more than ever before nowadays, okay? Distractions, like so much noise. And then your emotions have been weirdly conditioned by society in ways that aren't always helpful to you. And not just you, me, everybody. We all go through growing up, we all go through conditioning by society. And most of it is rubbish, okay? It's not gonna get us the results we want. You know what I mean? And that is why you must have your own clear vision, or else the world will set a bogus vision for you. And with that bogus vision, you're going to have the bogus results that come with a bogus vision. And this will be set by the world for you if you don't set your own. Okay? And listen, we're not talking about goals, we're talking about vision. Because there's a big difference here. Goals are things to achieve, whereas vision is your self-view, how you see yourself, and your worldview, how you see your world. So goals can fit in to a vision, but a vision is a whole different ballgame, Now, a great way to set your vision is to paint a picture, paint a story picture, that covers all the major aspects of your life, okay? So it's not just a goal like, oh, I want to achieve X, Y, Z. It's what am I and what is my world? You see, that's the difference, okay? And the reason why a picture story that covers all aspects of your life, your self-view and your worldview, is so powerful is because it's pretty much impossible for consciousness to ignore a complete picture story. So for example, if I tell you, don't think of an elephant walking to the water hole with its baby and drinking that sweet water and then looking around the horizon. You probably might think of that story even way after this video. I bet it. Now watch what happens in the next few hours or even days if you think of elephants, with an elephant with a baby walking to the water hole, drinking and looking around the horizon. See what happens. Anyways, so I want to give you a simple tip on how to make a clear and complete vision. So real quick, very quick. Make sure your vision is holistic, like we said, covers what we call myself and what we call my world. Okay, so that's what I mean by holistic. Okay, State it in the positive. So, what does that mean? For example, if I say, like before we saw, don't think of an elephant, that is a negative statement that makes you think of the thing that you're told not to think of. Okay. So, for example, if you have kids, don't tell them, oh, don't forget to put your toys back, because then they'll forget to put the toys back. That's a command to not to forget. So what you want to say is, remember to put your toys back. You know what I mean? There's a difference between remember to put your toys back, that's stated in the positive, versus don't forget to put your toys back, that's stated in the negative. Now, another thing is that proper vision has what we call well-formed outcomes. In other words, it's clear. So you don't say, oh, I want a car. That's a goal. That's not a vision. I'm just giving you an example. Let's say I want a car. No, what kind of car? You know what I mean? Electric or gasoline or hydrogen, Tesla or Pinto, yellow or pink. So a well-formed outcome is definitive, whereas it's not vague. So another thing is, don't involve changing other people. So if your vision involves somebody else being a different person from who they are today, that's not a cool vision. It's gonna disappoint. Now, also, your vision is best if it's sensory based, or rather, the benefits are sensory based. So, let's say you like being outdoors and going out on a kayak and kayaking in the water, in the rivers and the waterways. It's nice if you feel how that feels. Maybe you can go hire a kayak and do that and know how it feels, or you can imagine the feeling of going down that river with the sounds of the water lapping against your boat and the little birds, in the trees, and what you see as you pass by the trees as you float down the river. So you see, those are sensory based benefits. You're feeling the goodness, but you're also activating in your imagination how it feels, how it tastes, how it smells, and all that. Okay, and again, it has to be in context, in what we call ecologically sound. So, like for example, if I have a vision to be a clown in a circus, and I've never been, you know what I mean? Maybe I've never even gone to a circus. Um, I might need to do things to make that ecologically sound, because first of all, it needs. What I'm trying to say is that uh, the closer it is to what feels real already, the more likely it is that you will achieve that vision. And so, if you've never been to a circus and you want to be a clown in a circus, you literally have to do something to enter that world. Even if, let's say, like it's to go watch one circus performance and say hello to one clown and shake his hands or her hand, that starts to make it ecologically sound for you. You see, you've reduced the distance. You don't have cognitive disbelief, that the belief level has gone. It feels more real or more achievable. That's what we mean by ecologically sound. And it also integrates with the other things within your vision. They start, so you don't want to say, oh, I want to be a clown at a circus, and also I want to be the president of the United States at the same time. It's like weird, you know what I mean? But anyways, these are just quick tips I'm giving you. This is not a lesson on vision. I just wanted to mention them real quick. Now, a clear vision sets you up for step 2 of the formula, which is the plan. Step 2 is the plan. Make a plan and then do it. Okay, not just make a plan, but make a plan and do it. Now, look, let's not bullshit each other. We all know that plans don't always work. But that's not important. It's not important that it's not going to work, or it may or may not work as well as you expect it to, or it may work better than you expected it, or it may work worse. That's not important. The important thing is that you have a plan and you start executing it. Okay? Why? Because the plan is actually just a trick. That's the point. Okay? The plan's purpose is to give your mind a journey, a story, a process, step by step. Let's do this. That journey is very important, because then the journey itself starts to give you feedback as you interact with life. You start to get data and results, okay? And that activates your emotions, and that your emotions are actually very, very powerful. They start to give you feedback. They start to make you realize, what are you resisting? What are you not resisting? What does this mean to you? Have you given it a dodgy meaning, a meaning that serves you, a meaning that supports you, a meaning that doesn't, whatever. So the mind and emotions get a journey and feedback, okay? That's what the point of having a plan and then executing it is. And it's important to have a good plan. Okay, and we'll talk about that in a second in the next few slides. Let's just move on. Now, once we've realized that the point of a plan is not that things happen exactly according to plan, we can then relax and let go of the expectations that we have on a moment by moment basis. Okay? We've surrendered the idea that everything must go according to plan every moment. Otherwise, I'm failing. We've thrown away, we've thrown away that concept. So this allows us to be open to the present moment, and then this allows us to use the journey and that feedback to deliberately grow through life. Deliberately grow. So not just by mistake going through life and suffering forcing us to grow. We can actually decide to deliberately grow so that we don't need to suffer to grow. We can grow through pleasure, we can grow through purpose and all that. Usually people who grow by suffering is because they're resisting. And I'm not blaming anyone. I mean, this is not one of those like law of attraction things that says, oh, if everything is shit in your life, it's because you're attracting it. Because there's a level of truth to that. But we know we're not here to make ourselves feel bad, because that actually is counterproductive. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. All I'm saying is that quite often when we suffer, it's kind of like the hand of life making us notice. The Indians have a very cool saying that says, there's nothing better to make you aware of the goat than a headbutt from the goat. You know what I mean? Then you really notice the goat. But you can avoid suffering. You don't have to suffer. You know what I mean? You can be mindful instead and go and grow through life rather than go through life. And we'll get into that. We'll talk about that too as we go along. Now, having a plan also helps you unplug. It helps unplug you from mass consciousness, what we call the world's dream. Because think about it, however we grow up, wherever, whatever society we were born into, whatever family, neighborhood, society we were born into, it gives us our definition of life, our goals, our vision, our dreams, whatever. And so quite often, if we don't have our own deliberate plan, we are following the plan that was given to us, that we didn't even ask for. But people said, this is who you are, this is what you need to want, and this is what you gotta have to do. And we don't even realize that we've taken it upon ourselves to make that happen. The dream of the world, we don't even realize. We think it's us. But then once you start having your own deliberate plan, you begin to unplug from mass consciousness, and you start having some freedom from your conditioning, your limiting conditioning, the conditioning that, again, we were defined by the society we grew up in, and that definition is usually not good. Quite a lot of it is bogus, and it limits us. But it's just an idea that we've held on to and decided this is true. We can just as easily let go of that idea, and next thing you know, it doesn't define us anymore. So freedom from this conditioning, can begin to come from a plan, from having a plan that you execute. Okay, I'm not saying it's a magic bullet that's gonna free you from all your limiting conditioning, but it's a great place to start. Now, let's talk about a simple tip on how to make a solid plan. It's a very simple concept. 3-step concept. Find those who have done it before you. What is it that you want to achieve? Find people who've done it. 2, study their process. What did they do that was proven to work, that gave them results? And then model and copy it. Yeah, don't be ashamed. Copy it. Model it. Do it like they did it. Are you going to have the exact same results they did? Of course not. But it's better than just, I tell you what it is. It's better than reinventing the wheel. Okay? It will save you a lot of time, suffering, angst, aggravation, and needless nonsense. Okay, so model success. That's a great way to make a plan. Okay, cool. Now, once you've got a plan and you're doing it, you're executing it, it's time to add step 3, which is what we're calling the force multiplier. Okay, what is a force multiplier? Well, A force multiplier is anything that gives you the ability to accomplish much greater feats faster and with less personal effort. Okay? You can call it leverage or lever, but it's much greater than that. It's it's the best way I can explain it to you is think of a bird. A bird with, birds usually have two wings, right? Left wing, right wing. Now think of a bird like an eagle or a pigeon that, or a parrot, whatever bird. Pick a bird, man. Dave, you pick a bird. Okay, I'll pick a bird, a parrot. Imagine a parrot that has only one wing. So the left wing is chopped off for some reason. So the parrot can walk around on the ground. It can flap its right wing, but it's not going to fly, but it can still eat. It can do everything else parrots can do, but it can't fly. Either wing, you can chop off the left or the right wing, the parrot will be on the ground. Once you give it the second wing, then the parrot transforms and starts to fly. That's a force multiplier. It made the bird leave the ground. So it didn't help the bird run faster, it made it leave the ground. A force multiplier is a dramatic, it just, it changes the order of reality by magnitudes, okay? Not just little bit. Now let's see what kind of force multiplier we're talking about. I'd like you to think of one thing. I'd like you to consider the fact, maybe it's not a fact yet to you, so let me just call it a suggestion, that you are never alone, that the universe is full of remarkably powerful yet unseen forces that are on standby to help you. Literally to serve you, they are at your service. Okay? But then there is the concept of free will. And free will is called free will because by law it is not violated by these unseen forces. Which means you must ask for help. Specifically. For very specific things. Okay? Because your free will never be violated. Does that make sense? If I have free will, that means the thing that gave me free will not violate my choices, even if it's obvious I'm making poor choices, but it's ready to help me the minute I ask. Because then, by helping me, after I've asked, it will not have violated that free will. Now, if that sounds like a stretch to you, hold on, we're getting somewhere. Let me address the people who are physicists among us, and that includes me. I'm by nature very much a scientist, a physicist, so I like stuff like this. Did you know that most of the universe is non-physical? We look around and we see our world, we look up, we see the moon and the sun, and then we know there's stars and the whole universe, and we think, wow, what a big physical, wow. But most of the universe, ask any scientist, is mostly what we call, in quotes, empty space. So it's not really space. There is something. Let's call it non-physical. Most of the universe is made up of non-physical. We're not going to call it space. This is just, a term. We're going to call it non-physical. So the bulk of the universe, 99.99999%, is non-physical. The physical arises from and goes back into the non-physical. I'll give you 3 examples. We start with the grand scale. The universe, if you look at the image on your left, that's the universe and it's depicting the Big Bang. Now, the way this image on your left is drawn is that at the utmost left, you'll see a bright white light. That's the Big Bang. And within, boom, like microseconds, the whole universe appeared from nothingness, from a point of energy that is smaller than the head of a pin, smaller than a pinhead. Boom, the whole universe. Boom, all of us, you, me, everything came from that little, And one day the universe will shrink back and disappear, according to scientists. So it's like a big exhale, and then an inhale. you know. The whole universe came from non-physical, and it will go back into non-physical. Then the next image you see there is an ultrasound of a baby, the black and white scan on your top right. So you were born from non-physical. You came from a non-physical joint, wherever that is. And then from that non-physical, obviously involving your, the sperm and egg of your mother and father somehow. But boom, here you are. And one day you shall die. And you'll go back to the non-physical. And then on the smaller scale, the blue and black and whatever purple image you see there at your bottom right is what scientists call the quantum level, the quantum field. In other words, everything that we are and that we use and is around us is made of atoms, right? But atoms are made of subatomic particles, like electrons, protons, and everything. And those are energy particles called quanta. Quanta arise. Energy, this energy is not just sitting there. It pops in and out of existence, what we might call 50, billions of times a second, maybe 10, 50, 20, 40 billions of times a second. You can't really, it goes into a realm that is beyond our understanding, but this is a science. Quantum physics is a 100-year-old science. It's taught in universities. Go to any university that has physics, they'll teach you quantum physics. So this is not make-believe. The entire material universe is pulsating in and out of this quantum field billions of times a second. It just looks stationary. It looks solid, but it's not. These are just sensations, okay? So if I punch you in the face, it's not because my fist hits your face and two solid things hit each other that you're going to feel pain. It's because the forces, the electromagnetic gravitational forces that make up the atomic structure of your face and my fist are coming together the way like magnets that repel each other come together and refuse to touch. So it's the forces, these invisible forces, when they come together, that's what's causing the sensation of solidity. But there's actually nothing really physical there that stays physical. So what I'm trying to get at is that the whole universe is mostly non-physical, and your consciousness is designed to communicate with the non-physical. That's where things such as like prayer or extrasensory perception or whatever, that's how they work. Okay, that's how you get a vibe from people. Your consciousness is designed. So it's as simple as just asking. I had to go round and round to get to this point for anyone who sort of thought I'm talking hocus pocus stuff, because our society has conditioned us to think we're just flesh and bones, but we're not. We are way more powerful and more vast than that. So just ask. Whatever it is, just ask for it. And if you still doubt this, all you need to do to come to grips, if you need help to come to grips with this, is to study this thing and study it with an open mind, and I've got a lot of material for you, which I'll talk about later. But as soon as you study this kind of stuff and you use your logic to understand what you're hearing, and you look at the scientific evidence or whatever it is you need and so on, and your own intuition, you start to see this is true, and your faith and your power will grow. Okay, that's all you gotta do. Is to study it, and then use it. Now, once you've applied the force multiplier, and by the way, I'll go back real quick. The force multiplier, in this case, I want to give it a name, a label. I'll call it divinity. But again, that's just a label, man. You can call it source energy, you can call it God, you can call it whatever, you can call it the universe, you can call it life or life force. It doesn't matter, really. And it's not religious. It's got nothing to do with religion. And it's actually beyond definition. Even nobody knows what it is, really. Even scientists have studied this for more than 100 years. You've got like people like Einstein and everyone studied it, and they say, look, this is beyond, we don't know what this is, but we know it's there. You know what I mean? So anyways, after force multiplier, we go to step 4, which is eliminating obstacles. Good. Now let's talk about the two kinds of obstacles. You got internal obstacles. This include poor mind and emotion programming. what we call subconscious conditioning. And like again, like we said, we all grew up, we're all born and raised in societies, and those societies, they gave us some goodness, but they also messed us up, you know and that programming makes, I don't know whether you've heard the word awakening and unconscious ego, the conscious ego or the awakened ego versus the unconscious ego or the sleeping, you know the sleep, the man is asleep, or humanity is asleep. You can wake up from this programming, from this subconscious conditioning, and be free of it. You can be free of conditioning, and the solution includes, I said includes, so it's not only but includes mindfulness, rather cultivating awareness, because that way you start to know thyself. You start to know what your triggers and your patterns and how your energy moves and so on, and where you're not feeling, where you're blocking things, where you're holding tension, where you're resisting and causing yourself to pull back, and sabotage yourself, and where you have strengths that you can use to whatever. So mindfulness or awareness is extremely important. It also helps you be able to, especially for people who've gone through trauma, like I did. I went through a bit of childhood trauma, and the problem with traumatic people is that they're afraid of feeling, and so they stay in a state of heightened awareness, and they're always sort of escaping and running. But mindfulness allows you to chill out and to be able to feel those traumatic feelings without being threatened by them. In other words, you're no longer afraid of the feeling, and the minute you're not afraid of the feeling, you can then come into contact with the feeling and realize that it's not dangerous, and then that freedom starts to happen, you see. And that's also part of healing inner wounds, and again, there's a whole thing about that. Then, so we're talking about internal obstacles to eliminate, and now we're talking about external ones. Now, external ones are actually much easier, and they're actually the simpler ones. A lot of us think that external obstacles are what stop us in life, but it's not. It's actually the internal obstacles that predominantly stop us from achieving our dreams or living our best life. The external ones, there's really not much out there that can stop you once you've sorted your inside. Not much, almost nothing, like very little. And that usually involves not knowing what to do and, in quote, circumstances. Circumstances like if you're born in the desert in a third world country, that might be very different than being born in a rich country full of water. So they do count, but they're not really going to stop. You're not a tree, you can move things. But so not knowing what to do can be cured by getting help, and by help that means you could get yourself a team, or an assistance, or whatever, partners. You could have systems, tools, or you could learn to do it yourself. You could increase your skills. So, and these are not really difficult things to do if your internal is sorted. But if your internal is not sorted, then getting help, system, teams, tools, learning stuff becomes difficult. Okay. And like we said, circumstances can actually be turned into opportunities. So the external is not really a big limiter like the internal. Now, that leads us to step 5 of the quantum leap process, which is test, track, and tweak. I'm not going to talk too much about that because that's kind of obvious. But again, mindfulness gets into play, measuring things gets into play, just noticing, being aware, having feedback from life and from people, whatever, and making changes here and there. What I want to say is that this is especially for those of us who have a habit of procrastination, and I had a habit of procrastination, which I really had to overcome, and I still, once in a while, it still kicks in, But the idea here is just to pull the trigger. A lot of us wait until we're ready, wait until everything is perfect, until we've got this, until whatever. Let me tell you what, like, something is better than nothing. Just pull the trigger, man. Just pull the trigger. Doesn't matter. Just boom. And it's okay to be okay with making mistakes, be okay with what we call, in quotes, failing, because the more mistakes you make, the faster you learn from the feedback. So many mistakes is a sign of somebody who's actually trying things. No mistakes is a sign of somebody who's actually just trying to play it safe, and there is no playing it safe, because the pain of staying in an uncomfortable, in quotes, safe place is higher than the pain of facing mistakes if you allow yourself to be okay accept yourself as you are with the mistakes, with or without the mistakes. You know what I mean? Our culture defines us in a way such that we're afraid of making mistakes because we feel shame. This is one of those internal blocks we're talking about. You need to accept yourself with mistakes because otherwise you'll never progress. You gotta be able to pull the trigger 24/7 all the time. Like, no worries, just keep going, keep going, keep going. Mastery. Boom, 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 boom. You know, don't make it perfect. Don't try and make it clean. Make a mess out of it. It's all good. Okay? And that's how you end up testing, tracking, tweaking, and so on. But anyways, moving on. And now that you know what to do, the 5 steps, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Okay? How do you execute these 5 steps? Well, I've got this thing that we've put together. Took a lot of effort, to be honest. It's been years in the making. It's taken years and years and decades of all my life learning put together into nice little packages. It's just that coronavirus happened to come to us just before I was about to release what I'm calling the membership club, which is now called the Reboot and Rebound Membership Club, whereby we focus on surviving and thriving in crisis. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this membership club. Basically, I've put together more than 122 courses and resources. And again, you don't have to take them all. I'm not trying to overwhelm you. These are just options so that you can say, oh, I need help with this. Oh, there's a course for that. Oh, I need help with this other thing. Oh, there's a resource for that. Okay. And the membership gives you access to all of those resources. Okay. So that you can make your vision and follow your calling and your heart, so that you can find your calling, find your dream team, people that can help you out and everything, find your dream clients, find your tribe, so that you can quickly figure out exactly what to do step by step, so that you can eliminate those pesky internal and external obstacles that we talked about, so that you can serve and help more people with your value and your talents, so that you can perfectly position yourself for when this corona thing ends, so you can come out of it better, stronger, wiser, healthier, and dare I say richer, so that you can ultimately grow, have more impact, experience more variety, and even make more money. Now, this membership club comes in 2 options. Well, actually, there's a third, but I'd like us to focus on 2 options. Now, option number 1. I made these slides on the 15th of June, and let me quickly look at the calendar. Today is the 16th of June, actually, so I made these slides yesterday, the 15th of June, 2020, and I'm recording this on what time is it? The morning. I'm in Australia right now. It's 10:43 a.m., Tuesday, 16th of June, 2020. So what I'm about to tell you is valid as of this moment, okay? Situation may change by the time you watch this video. Cool. So the first option is what we're calling the All Access Pass. What happens is this gives you access to all the 122 courses. Now, individually, some of these courses go for as low as $1 because I just want you to have it. But some of them are pretty pricey and they go for as much as $995. So that's 122 courses that range in price from $1 to $995. Most of them, to be honest, are between $47 and $97. But you can access all of them for one low monthly fee of $297 a month. But, like I said, we're launching now, okay, as of 16th of June. The first 135 members can get access to this for a super reduced founding member special offer of $97 a month. And this is going to be fixed and guaranteed for as long as they remain a member in good standing. So once 135 people finish signing up at $97 a month, the price goes to $297 a month, which I think is fair and reasonable to access 122 courses that, are on average $47 to $97 each, Now this gives you total access to everything. Also, by the way, I forgot to say, we add new courses and resources every month because we're in a changing, evolving situation, man. We're in a new world, a new a new normal, right? So things are changing. So as we find things that work better here and there, whatever, we keep adding to this membership community. Talking of community, you also get access to the community so you can meet like-minded people. And also once a month we have a group Zoom session where it's just Q&A with me, with David. Every month, one session. It will last an hour to 2 hours, and it's just Q&A. So it's not a mastermind, it's not a workshop, it's not coaching, it's Q&A. Okay, so whatever answers you may have throughout that month, put them all together, whatever, and you can ask me on the group Zoom Q&A. Otherwise, you can always type it into the community, the members only community. So that's, oh, and one more thing. You have 1 day free to try all of this, everything. 24 hours where your card will not be charged, and you can check out every single one of those 122 courses, every single lesson. There's no limits. So, not just a free trial like lessons, but every single lesson. You get full access to access everything for 24 hours for yourself without your card being charged. And if after 24 hours you like what you see, you just keep using it, and then that's when your card gets charged the $97. But if you don't like it, you can cancel it by yourself, and I'll show you how in a few minutes, anytime within the 24 hours, and your card will not be charged. Super cool. Now let's talk about the second option. The second option is pretty much what we've talked about in the first option, but you also get high performance and rapid innovation group coaching. So as a group, we have executive coaching with me in person, okay, on Zoom as a group. And if you can't attend the group coaching sessions, you can always get the recording, obviously. But so what we have is group coaching. We use a tool called Coach Accountable, which is really, really cool. It allows us to set our targets. Those 5 steps we talked about. It allows us to go through each of one of those, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, to step different targets, to be able to measure them, to be able to, and individually for yourself, for what it is that you want. But we sort of do this as a group, and I get to help you out, in a group sort of format. And also I give you some additional transformational toolbox, which people don't get in the all access pass one. And also we have group Q&A Zoom sessions every 2 weeks. So instead of every month, we have a Q&A session every 2 weeks. That's in addition to the group coaching. And yeah, so this one, for all that, it will be going for $1,000 a month. But I do understand that can be a little bit high for some people, and also for them to have faith that this is something that will work for them. So what I'm doing is, for the first founding members, that means 25 people only, they get access, again, to the whole 122 courses we talked about, plus the group coaching, plus all these other things we talked about, the transformation toolbox and so on, for $497 for a month, per month. And again, that is locked in, guaranteed for life, as long as they stay a member in good standing. $497 a month. That's only for the first 25. And the reason I'm doing this is because I would love to help people achieve real, tangible, meaningful results internally and externally, so that then I can have case studies. I want to interview them on video, man. For those who are willing. So I'm not saying you have to agree to be interviewed on video, but for those who are willing, I'll interview them on video, ask them about how I help them, have them share their story. And then with these case studies, I can then have proof that, this really, really works. I already know it works. I've already helped people because I've been doing this for 20 years, but this is a new package, this whole reboot and rebound thing for the post-corona world. Obviously, this is day 1, so I don't have proof for that. For this particular package. So to build proof for that package, that's why I'm doing this. Then once I've got enough of that, and I can then be able to raise the price to $1,000 a month. And the reason why this is $1,000 a month is not because of the price. I don't want you to think of it in terms of price. I want you to think of it in terms of results. So the way I think of it is, I'm spending a lot of time and giving value that I took 40 something, 45, 44, 45 years to learn and package, and I'm helping people transform their lives in ways that are priceless, that are worth way more than $1,000. And I want to focus on people who are able to then pass on that benefit. And that's why I'm focusing on entrepreneurs, people who are able to influence more people and then pass on that benefit to others. So that way, this doesn't just stop with one person benefiting. These people can then go and help other people. And again, that's why I'm focusing on entrepreneurs, because first of all, I love business. I got 2 degrees in, no, I got 2 degrees, 1 degree in business, 1 degree in IT. I've run so many different businesses, including real estate, import, export, and blah, blah, blah. So I love business, but also I love consciousness and helping people out. And my biggest passion is actually the new earth, where we're going next. And so for that, I want to help entrepreneurs mostly because they are, I believe, the people who are able most, the single group of people. Everybody's important, but this group of people are the single group of people that sort of affect most changes on earth. Entrepreneurs, because they build things, they influence people. So entrepreneurs, if I help them achieve mega results, they are able to help more people. See? So this is my motive. And because I need to focus on a small group of people to be able to help people, I'm limiting this whole group, even at $1,000 a month, to a maximum of 50 clients. And then it's completely closed. Once I've helped all of them and whatever, then we can see what we're going to do with the group. Again, if it will ever reopen, or it will reopen in a different way, or never open again, I don't know, because my next target after doing all this coaching as well is to help entrepreneurs at an even higher level who can affect now millions of people, and also for me to go into filmmaking. I'm also a filmmaker, by the way. I do a lot of things. So long story short, if you're interested in group coaching, 25 spots available at $497 a month. You can cancel anytime, so it's not like you have to stay for 2 months or 3 or whatever. You can cancel anytime. 25 members, $497 a month. It will get you a lot more value than $497, especially if you're an entrepreneur. Definitely $497 is peanuts. Okay. If you miss out on the 25, no negotiation, it goes to $1,000 a month. If you miss out on the total 50 members in the club, then it's closed, no negotiation, because we've got to do a good job and a right job, do right by those people who come in and who jump in first. So if we got way too many people, I'll be stretched and I won't be able to serve. So now this is the third option. Again, I don't want to talk too much about this. This is the one-on-one custom private coaching. This is similar to the group coaching, except that I work with a person personally, one-on-one, not in a group format. And we customize a program for them. So we have a discovery call that lasts an hour or 2 hours. We have a chat. And then once we figure out what this person really, really, really needs and how I can help them, then I go and do a proposal, a custom program for them. And then I come back to them, and if they're cool with it, then we get started. At the moment, I'm only going to be taking 5 clients only, and it will be at a starting price of $3,000 a month. Could be more depending on that program, the custom program, and the needs of this particular client. But again, no more than 5, because then I don't want to be stretched. And then it's closed, and it's a 3-month package, so you cannot do like you. I would hate it for you to just take 1 month and go, because to be honest, this is something that we need to get deep together. But if you want to go after a month, that's cool too. But basically, I encourage you to do the 3-month package if you want this. And again, this is by appointment only, so this one cannot just be sold to anyone. We have to make an appointment, have a chat, so you make sure I'm a good fit for you. I make sure you're a good fit for me. And then if we're all good, then we can get started. But again, that's by appointment only, so I don't want to focus on this or for this presentation. I just wanted to mention that that's an option. Now, like I said, there's 122 courses and more added every month. It's not to overwhelm you. You don't have to take every single course. It's just so you have the options to get the help you need immediately, instantly, whenever you need it on any one of the topics that are relevant. And again, each is priced between $1 or $9.97 or $9.95, as you can see there. So if purchased separately, this would be 122 times whatever the average price of all those courses is. And I did the math. It's approximately roughly $12,000, 10, 11, $12,000 roughly. If purchased separately, I know that's a crazy amount. So again, that's why this sounds so good to me. $97 a month for the first 135 members to access all those 122 courses worth $10, $11, $12,000. And again, the second option is to do that plus the group coaching. If you're interested in that, again, that's by appointment only, so let's not talk too much about that. What I want us to talk about right now real quick is the fact that whether you choose the all access pass or the group coaching, the high performance, high innovation group coaching, either one of them, you have 24 hours to check out everything and your card will not be charged. If after the 24 hours you're still happy, you just carry on and your card will automatically be charged. If you're not happy with what you see within those 24 hours, there's this simple cancel it yourself tool. What you're seeing there is a screenshot of inside the members area. As you can see, there's a line that says your credit card and another line that says subscription. Now, by the way, we don't keep your credit card. This is kept by a very huge company called Thinkific and Stripe. Actually, Thinkific doesn't even keep it. Stripe keeps it. Stripe is a mega super company. If you've not heard of it, I think part of the investors are Elon Musk of SpaceX and Tesla and Peter Thiel of PayPal. They're the guys who keep your card. I don't have your card details, to be honest with you, but it's indicated there because you're able, through our super cool IT magic, to change your card details or cancel your subscription yourself, and the cancellation is instant. Okay, so again, the deal is try all the 22 courses, 122 courses, free, completely, totally, every single one of them for 24 hours. If you don't like it, click the cancel button before the 24 hours are over and you're not going to be charged. If you stay on, your founding members price is grandfathered for life as long as you stay a member in good standing, which means as long as you don't, quit, you cannot jump on in again at the founding members price. But as long as you don't quit, your price sticks. Other people are going to be paying the higher price once the 135 members for the all access pass or the 25 for the group coaching have been taken. The price goes back up to normal. Okay, cool. Now, like I said, this is the exact same method that I used to help tens of thousands of people achieve their dreams and feel better. And also the exact same method that I used to travel the world and achieve many, many other goals and dreams. As you can see over there, in all sorts of countries, playing with all sorts of different toys and everything. And the lady over there with the white hair crown, that's my mom. She's a wonderful lover. And yeah, I love her, man. My mom is just awesome. My dad too is really awesome. My whole family is awesome. Love him. I don't know why I'm getting into that now. Maybe the picture get me some sentimental. Anyways, so those are pictures of me. You can see me in China, me flying a Boeing 737 flight simulator, me in a private jet there, me at a conference, me playing with a reindeer in Finland, me at some beach in Zanzibar, in Tanzania, and also in Indonesia, me on a sailing yacht in the Whitsundays in Northern Australia, me with an elephant in Thailand, me in Rome, I don't know, all sorts of Bali, whatever. Me. Sorry, I'm not bragging. I'm just showing you that this stuff works. Okay, and now I'm going to give it all to you, like I said, and again, I would classify this as a zero risk proposal because you can try it all free for 24 hours. And if you don't like it, cancel it yourself. You have the mechanism. Now, to be fair, I have to give you a warning, okay? Because I think that some of the best advice out there is do unto others as you would like to have them do unto you, okay? So I don't know about you, but I like it when people are upfront with me regarding their intentions. And if you and I were working together, I would want you to be upfront with me about your intentions. And because of that, I'm going to be really upfront with you about my intentions. Now, obviously, I would love for you to try this. That's not a state secret. I'm not hiding it. I would love for you to try this. But I must say that this is not for everyone, okay? This is not for everyone, and results will vary. Okay? Let me tell you who this is not for. This is not for people who hate growth. And by the way, if you watch up to this point, I don't think that's you. I think you're one of the people who like to grow, because otherwise you wouldn't have watched this video up to this point, right? So I have confidence that I'm not talking to about you, but all the same, I'd like to make the disclaimer, just in case. So this is not for people who hate growth. Now, this stuff definitely works. I know it works. I've used it. Many people have used it, okay? But it's not a magic bullet. It's not a magic pill, okay? You have to apply yourself. You cannot just, I don't know, press a button and then everything magically happens. So this is not a magic pill. So this is not for people who want to sit and wait to be rescued, rescued by the government or something, This is not for people who are looking for an easy button, okay? This stuff makes it easier, way easier. It saves you a lot of struggle and heartache and everything, but it's not an easy button. You still will go through obstacles. All it's doing is going to show you how to overcome those obstacles without suffering. In fact, pain may not be optional, but suffering is optional. And this stuff will help you relieve the suffering and get through things super fast and maybe even enjoy it. Okay? But you still have to apply yourself. Okay? So this is not a bailout. Okay? So if you truly wish to take control of your destiny, in as much as life allows us to take control, because not everything is within our control, but there's a lot more that is within our control than we realize. If you want to take control of your destiny, of your health, of your finances, of your society, and I dare say your world, your whole world, the whole planet, I'm talking about the planet now, you can be a very active participant in all that, okay? If you're ready for that, if you're ready to sort of, commit to doing whatever it takes to extend your life experiences and to have the most energy and options that you can, so that you can take better care of your family, and dramatically improve your business and your career and your abundance and your finances, yes, even during this pandemic, if you're ready to help shape your world into a more compassionate and healthy planet, and you enjoy doing that, and you want to enjoy a quality of life that is even higher, a quality of life that you truly deserve, okay, then this is for you. And if you're not that person, then this may not be for you, and that's okay. That's all cool. I believe you're the person that this is for, but if you're not, then that's also cool. No worries, Also, I want to make sure that you understand that I'm not offering you the one truth. This is not a religion. This is not a claim that this is the only way everything works and everything else is rubbish. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm showing you is a different perspective, okay? The perspective is not based on hocus pocus, okay? It's based on real, actual things that work. So, for example, mindfulness has been used for thousands of years. Even the military, even the Navy SEALs, even huge corporations use mindfulness nowadays. We know it works, okay? What I'm good at is packaging information in ways that people go, oh, I get it, I get it, oh my God, I get it. So I'm able to assimilate a wide, vast body of knowledge and put it together and connect it in ways that most people cannot, and then explain it in super simple ways. That's my gift. So I'm not inventing much of this stuff. I found it. It's ancient knowledge that has worked for eons. It's just that it's hard to find it, and it's hard to understand it, and it's hard to apply it unless somebody helps you with that. And that's what I'm doing, okay? And another reason why I know it works is because, as you can see from these screenshots, I was invited to be the creative consultant on the movie The Secret precisely because of that skill. That's why they invited me to be a consultant on the movie The Secret. If you've never heard of it, that's cool. If you've heard of it, then you'll understand why I mentioned it. Again, on Amazon, you can see this is one of my books that I wrote. It's called A Happy Pocket Full of Money. And by the way, two things. It's not really about money. It's about life. It's just the money thing is a hook. It does address abundance. a lot. It's about abundance, yes, but it's really not a. Amazon actually puts it under the finance, personal finance category. I don't know why they put it there, but whatever. It's selling really well, and as you can see, this is 204, 240. I can't read that close because I'm actually reading from the presenter screen, so it's actually smaller than the screen you're looking at this from. But 5-star ratings. And if you read the comments, I invite you to go to Amazon.com, look for the book A Happy Pocket Full of Money by David Cameron Gikandi, me, and read the comments, see what people say about it. And the second thing I want to say is I'm giving it to you for free. You can have this book for free if you just take on this free 24-hour trial. Go in there. It's part of the membership club. Go find it, grab the audio version of it, grab the PDF version of it for free. And people wouldn't have been, and I wrote this like back in, although this paperback edition says 2015, but I actually wrote it and released the very early self-published version, I think in 2000 or 2001. So it's people for now 20 years, I've said how great it is. If it was not great, they wouldn't say it, right? So I know this works. But I'm just saying, I'm not a fortune teller and I cannot predict your future, and I don't know you personally, so I cannot honestly guarantee and say that your results will be exactly like my results. I would be lying if I said you're going to get the exact same results as, let's say, this other person. No, everyone is different. Your results will be unique to you, okay? But I still think you should give it a shot, okay? Cool. Now, like I said, price for the All Access Pass, normally $297, but if you're one of the first 135 members, you can get it now for $97 a month. Just click the button below this video. Should be below, unless it's above or to the left or to the right, but should be on this page anyways. Or if you want the group coaching version, usually $1,000 a month, but for the next 25 members only, or for the first 25 members, so not next, first 25 members, like I said, as of today, which is the 16th of June that I'm recording this, that we're opening up. Actually, I think we might open up a few days from now because I'm putting this up and then I'm going to have to put, ads and the mailing and all this. So whatever, 25 members, the first 25, you get it for $497 a month, and then the system automatically takes the price back up to normal. So the system is intelligent, it's doing its own thing, it's pre-programmed, pre-coded. So it's up to you to make a decision and pull the trigger. So yeah, claim your copy now and save more than $200 a month or more if you're actually talking about the group coaching one, And again, like I said, with the discount, the 24-hour total free trial, because it's access every single lesson in every single one of those 122 courses if you want within these 24 hours, and again, with the self-cancellation mechanism, you cannot lose. Your card will not be charged until 24 hours from now. By then, you can cancel if you want, okay? So if that's all cool with you, click the button below or above or to the left or right of this video. I'm not sure where it is, but it's on this page. And get started today. So see you on the inside, and thank you very much for your time and for having listened. Thank you.